Hello, thank you all for watching. We want to do a little bit of video for you guys on how to use our Neapolitan pizza dough and to make it the best that it can be with a couple of really easy tips and tricks. This dough is delicious no matter what you do. You don't have to do all of this that we're teaching you, but we do a longer fermentation. It has a ton of flavor and it's a little bit of a wetter dough, which lends to really, really nice texture. But there's a couple really easy hacks that you can do to make it kind of take you from a great pizza to an unbelievable pizza. And we want to help you guys all get there. This segment today will be focused on the prepping of your dough ball and then also the shaping and stretching of the dough to prep before you put it in the oven. So let's get started. The night before you plan on making your pizza, you want to make sure that you pull your frozen pizza dough ball out of the freezer and put it into your refrigerator. In your refrigerator, it will thaw slowly in about 10 to 12 hours. You can also thaw it at room temp if you forget to do it the night before, but it will still take about 5 hours plus at room temperature to thaw from a frozen state. So here's my dough ball that I took out of the freezer last night, and it's been in the fridge. Once it's in the fridge, it can be in the fridge for up to 2 days and maybe even longer, but the fresher the better. We kind of do the fermentation on our end, so you want to make sure that it doesn't sit too long or it will start to taste a little bit yeasty. So it really, it's a flavor preference, but you're going to dust your work surface. And to get the dough out of the bag, you're just going to invert it. And as I said, it's a little bit of a wetter dough, and that's intentional, but it's going to lend to an awesome pizza. Now we have the dough ball, and you're just gonna kind of just tuck it up into a ball shape, and then you just flip it over. You want to make sure you have extra flour on your surface, just so that it doesn't stick. Flour is your friend with this particular dough. And then we're gonna let this dough ball sit and rest for roughly 2 hours. It really depends on the temperature in your house, but you need to let it proof before you use it. So now we're gonna check if our dough is ready. I've been having this rest for about 2 hours now. All right, so this looks great. So if you push it, you can kind of tell if it doesn't bounce back really quickly. That's a really good way to test it out. So, you should be able to kind of push it and it shouldn't come back right at you really quickly. So, and you can tell that it's at least doubled in size. So this part, it's okay if you don't have one of these scrapers, but you do definitely want to be gentle with the dough. The whole idea is that we want that gas inside of this dough, so that we can have those really nice bubbles on the crust. So what you're gonna do now is that you have your pizza dough here, and what you're just gonna do is push gently the gas out to the edge. So you're trying to kind of get all the gas into that crust so you have those really nice bubbles and texture in the crust, which I'll show you after the pizza's baked. So, all right. So now that you've gotten kind of a crust, you can actually just use the weight of the pizza to make a rim around it with your fingers. So you're just kind of moving your fingers along and letting kind of the weight of the dough kind of pull it this way. You're able to get a really even kind of rim. So you want your rim to be about a 1/2 inch, maybe be 1 inch for a Neapolitan pizza. You know, if you prefer thinner crust, that's fine. You can do it a little bit differently, but that's kind of what we like to do. We encourage you to kind of try it that way. The crust is so good on these pies, so. All right, so once you have the pizza to the size and shape that you're looking for, you're gonna transfer it to the pizza peel. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You can still make some adjustments after it's on the peel too. So you can also kind of move it a little bit with your hands to transfer it. So, all right, I'm gonna just get a fine dusting of flour on the peel. If you have a metal peel, that's okay, but they have a tendency to stick a little bit more. If you have a wooden peel, these are really, really nice. So that's what we recommend. So you're just gonna move your pizza onto your peel and just get it, you know, however you'd like it. Once you get it on the peel, you can kind of make those adjustments after. All right. In this video, we're going to show you how to use your pizza peel and get familiar with that. So launching the pizza into the oven and how to bake your pizza for the absolute best pizza at home. So we are going to be talking about how to use your pizza peel and use a pizza stone or a baking steel to bake your pizza. If you don't have all these fancy tools at home, that's okay. This pizza dough is still going to be spectacular and way better than you could typically buy in the store. So one trick that I love to do, and you don't even notice that you do it anymore, is that after your pizza is on the peel, you kind of just want to get in the habit of kind of shaking it a little bit to make sure that it isn't sticking. So that's a big key to do before you start to top the pizza. We are going to be using a baking steel in this video, but the strategy for the steel and the stone are very similar. For your baking stone or steel, you want to make sure that your oven's been preheated at the highest temp that it can for, if you can do it for 40 minutes, you're gonna be in really good shape. 40 to 45 minutes is what we recommend. If you can't, that's okay, but you really want to get that stone nice and hot. And it will really help with baking your pizza really well. So my oven has been preheating now for 45 minutes at 500, which is the highest that my oven goes. For sake of demonstration, we're just gonna do a really simple pie, just a plain cheese pizza. So you do kind of want to make sure that you shake it and that it's still moving nicely on the pizza peel. If you're using pizza steel, we recommend that you put it on broil for about 5 minutes before you load the pizza. So if you want, I've already changed mine to broil, so it's starting to get really nice and hot. For the sauce, you want to go a little bit lighter on the sauce for the Neapolitan. And you can do a really simple sauce. You don't have to make it at home. But I love to just do really, really simple, just canned or from your garden. San Marzano tomatoes are awesome. They're the best for sauce. And I just do it with a little bit of salt. There's a couple different, there's different recipes that I like to use, but it really doesn't have to be a fancy sauce. All right. So, I also love to do a little bit of Parmesan. So, freshly grated Parm, Pecorino Romano is really good. But obviously you can do whatever types of toppings you like. And then you want to do a low moisture mozzarella. That's what I have here. But these are all just, suggestions. We're just doing a basic cheese pie, but Obviously you can get a lot more creative than this, but all right. So we're not gonna go too crazy with the toppings. A little bit, honestly, less is more when it comes to Neapolitan pizzas. You kind of want to shake it, make sure it's still releasing. All right, so there's a couple different strategies you can use when you're loading the pizza. And one of them can be like the slow release, or one of them can be the really fast. I'm gonna show you guys a slow release. That's the easiest one to get started with. So you just kind of shimmy it off your thing onto the steel. All right. All right. So there it is, the finished pizza. And we'll let it rest for a minute or two and kind of show you, but you can kind of see the bottom. There's really nice leoparding, just kind of like spotting and stuff. And you know, it's pretty good for a home oven. So we'll cut it open and show you the crust, and kind of, if you actually look closer, this is what we were trying to accomplish, is there's these beautiful bubbles inside of this crust, and that's what we were working at with pushing the gas out the outside. So as you can see, the bottom is really nice and finished, and this is what you're looking for. That's where the love is. So this is kind of the crust that you're looking for. There's so much flavor, and it's nice and airy crust, and you'll find it all throughout, and that's the whole strategy of pushing the air bubbles out. This is what the Neapolitan pizza should look like. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you learned a little bit about some really simple tricks on how to make the absolute best pizza with your Neapolitan pizza dough. Our pizza dough is really easy to use once you kind of get the hang of it, and you can make some of the best pizzas at home. Thank you for watching, and thanks for stopping by. We hope you guys have some fun and a little bit extra confidence in the kitchen with your pizza dough.